hard-fought victory from the Charlotte Checkers. I'm just kidding. The reason why I said that is because a lot of our guys, our starting guys, are out for this game. Like no Reinhardt, no Barkov, no Bennett. That's still dealing with a little bit of a headache of injury. Hopefully he comes back in the next final 2 games. Game 80 of this season, man. I tell you what, this season flew. It definitely flew. However, I can confidently tell you that I get to talk about yet another Panthers victory for the 47th time of the season. So we're just going to miss 50 wins. But roughly the same record, almost the same record as last season, right? If I'm not mistaken. Around that. But regardless of that, another victory for the Florida Panthers. It was not easy. Vanacek definitely did the best he possibly could. And he in some ways, so I criticize Vanacek that, he was having a bad year, but the one thing that still is true is that he still wins against the Buffalo Sabres. So Vanacek versus Luukkonen, and Luukkonen definitely tried his best too. But let us get things going here with this game. So in the first period, I feel like both teams are shooting the puck. Like Jacob Magna with the wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen. That's the first shot on target. Tage Thompson with a 40-goal season again. Snapshot that was stopped by Vanacek as well. Rodriguez, who had a comment on Brad Marchand, a sense of humor. Hopefully people realize that they're joking. That, he's a scumbag, and Brad Marchand called Rodriguez a scumbag. It's all fun and games, just so everybody knows. Connor Clifton, after the Bowen Byram with the snapshot that was stopped by Vanacek, Connor Clifton gets called for a board against Nico Sturm. That's definitely a boarding. So Panthers go into power play. During that power play, Seth Jones with the wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen. Carter Verhaeghe with the wrist shot that was also stopped by Luukkonen. Lo Serenen tries to tip it home, which was close, from the face-off as well, but that was stopped by Luukkonen. This penalty is killed off. Rodriguez with the wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen as well. Jesper Boquist, who won an award tonight. Congrats to him. Voted by the players. Man. That's awesome. Matthias Samuelsson with the snapshot that was stopped by Vanacek. Jason Zucker with the wraparound attempt, but Vanacek stopped it. Magna again with the wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen. So pretty good game for the Panthers so far, right? Well, late in the first period, there will be a tripping call against Aaron Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets called for trip against JJ Peterka. Not Peterka, I think it's Peterka. Whatever, I'm close. So Buffalo goes on a power play. During that power play, Nico Sturm with the wrist shot. There was also a shorthanded chance in Florida. Pretty good with shorthanded goals. We have not had a shorthanded goal in months, but I feel like it's coming with 2 games left, of course. Luukkonen stops that puck. And after that, there would be a goal. For Buffalo. He's assisted by J.J. Paterka. I think that's what it is. With his 39th assist of the season. And Jason Zucker's 31st assist of the season. And off the wrist shot, Zucker going on the left side. And Vanacek so focused on Zucker, he forgot about Rasmus Dahlin. And Dahlin was wide open on the right side of the net. There's no way you're going to stop that one. It's 1-0 Buffalo. That's his 17th goal of this season. So we go to the second period. Down 1-0. Second period, it's been all Florida Panthers. The one name I really feel like it really stands out for the Florida Panthers in the second period. First off, Seth Jones with the wrist shot, that was stopped by Luukkonen. The one player that I think really stood out in the second period is Jesse Palujari. not Shari. Paluvari. Jesse Palularvi. What a player. He's hitting people. I mean, 22 hits within the 3-day span. Damn good player he's turning out to be. So here's my question. Here's my questions, everybody. Is he going to be the future star of the Florida Panthers? The way how he's playing this game. He was fantastic, aggressive, definitely the depth of the hitting tools that the Panthers love. So let me ask you, is he the next superstar for the Florida Panthers? Is he? Because he tried a backhand attempt, which was stopped by Luukkonen off the rebound and a penetration. Boquist also tries a backhand off the rebound, which was stopped by Luukkonen. I mean, good stuff there, but, oh man. Marchand tries a wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen. Gadjovich with the wrist shot attempts 2 times in a row, which was stopped by Luukkonen. But eventually the puck will go in the back of the net as he's assisted by Evan Rodriguez. That's his 16th assist of the season. Seth Jones gets an assist here. His 26th assist of the season. What he did, he was trying to shoot the puck. That puck ends up missing towards the right. And the puck bounced off the wall to the board to Carter Verhaeghe. And Verhaeghe has a puck right in front of Luukkonen, and that backhand was so easy. It was one of the easiest backhands I've seen from Carter Verhaeghe, and he gets this goal, game-tying goal here. That is his 19th goal of the season. One more to reach 20. So that's your game-tying goal. That's awesome. Paluvari with the slap shot that was stopped by Luukkonen. Buffalo is now shooting the puck more. Kolek with the slap shot and the snap shot to rebound. Vanacek stops that penetration. He's stopping the puck in the second period. What a player he has become in the second period. Alec Tuck has hit the crossbar. Unlucky for him. Unlucky for Tuck was that puck bounced off the crossbar. Rodriguez tries to capitalize. That was stopped by Luukkonen. Tage Thompson with the wrist shot. That was stopped by Vanacek. Molliston with the backhand. That was stopped by Vanacek. Buffalo's knocking on the door. Connor Clifton's getting the wrist shot. That was stopped by Vanacek as well. So we get a little break. Vanacek stopped the puck. Losing the face-off, but Seth Jones gets it. He has a wrist shot in hand. That was stopped by Luukkonen, though. And then we get this goal. He's assisted by Carter Verhaeghe. That's his 32nd assist of the season and 2 points in the game. Ovis Balinskis with his 14th assist of the season. He was trying to do a wrist shot to try to fight through the screen, and that screen was so good for him. And off the beautiful deflection tip-in is Jesse Paluvari RV with his 4th goal of the season. I think that's his first as a Panther. Welcome to the Panthers, man. Getting called up from the Checkers. 4th goal of the season. I think the 3 goals came from the Charlotte team. I hope I'm right. But he gets a go-ahead goal, and I'm shocked that he does not have a star of the game. I'm shocked. I really am shocked. Because that was a good deflection goal by Paluvari. 2-1 Panthers. As great as he is, he deserves it. And then things kind of went turned south for this game because now all of a sudden they forgot the rivals. And there are plenty of fights to go around. Balinskis and Zach Benson, both of them slashed each other, so they both go to the box, so it becomes a 4-on-4. During this 4-on-4, Owen Power with the wrist shot that was stopped by Vanacek, and this 4-on-4 expires. Jason Zucker a little bit after that, after Jesper Boquist's wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen. Zucker slashes Boquist. And then Florida goes on a power play, and during this power play, Tuck with the wrist shot that was stopped by Vanacek. So there was a shorthanded opportunity. You don't want to give those up. Gustav Forsling, man, what a great defensive player. Again, great defensive game that he had again. But this one, he tries a wrist shot home, but that was stopped by Luukkonen. Verhaeghe with the slap shot. He was absolutely robbed by Luukkonen. And Palovari with the snap shot. He was robbed by Luukkonen. This power play was 1 second left, will carry on to the third period. But the Panthers with the 2-1 lead over the Buffalo Sabres. Third period starts, penalty expires. Mikkola with the wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen. AJ Greer with the wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen. Twice in a row of not the rebounds. 10 seconds later, there would be another shot. Puck was frozen. Then the face-off from AJ Greer against Peyton Krebs. As soon as a face-off happens, we have gloves off. We had a fight, brawl, and Gadjovich beat the shit out of Alex Tuch. Tuch had no chance against Gadjovich. Just a couple of punches, and that's all for Tuch. Gadjovich wins this fight as both of them go to the penalty spots for fighting. So 5 minutes of fighting. So it remains a 5-on-5. Mikkola with the wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen, of course. Rat and Nico Stern with the snapshot, the rebound, which was robbed by Luukkonen. Rasmus Dahlin with the cross check against Verhaeghe. A few scuffles. Now we get to see some tempers flare. But this is a cross check against Dahlin. Panthers go on a power play. During this power play, the Panthers power play team did not do anything other than giving up a shorthanded chance by Bowen Bryan. With the wrist shot that was stopped by Vanacek. That power play is killed off. No shots on goal for the Panthers, but a shorthanded chance. Not good. Bryan with the wrist shot that was stopped by Vanacek. And then 10 minutes into the third period, holy hell, a fight broke loose. Beliscus laid waste on Tage Thompson, okay? He laid waste. And Buffalo took exception and started throwing haymakers, started beating the shit out of Gadjovich. Benson was, putting them over the headlock and stuff like that. And then AJ Greer now comes in and starts beating the shit out of Tage Thompson. A whole melee just happened in this scenario because Tage Thompson got waste by Belinskis. A big hit, I'll say that. And man, the fight was everything. If I was at that game, I probably would have acted violent too. Don't know at my vlogs. So this was crazy on itself. So 4 penalties have been called, right? So AJ Greer gets called for a rough against Zach Benson. That wind up being served by Rasmus Asplund. AJ Greer also gets called for a penalty on Tage Thompson. He gets a double penalty on roughing. And like I said, the other one was served because he roughed both Thompson and Benson, even though Benson was also responsible for his actions too. Tage Thompson, there it is. There's a rough against Belinskis. But then Mackie Samsukevich gets an unsportsmanlike conduct against Dahlin. All of which would give Buffalo a power play, and not just a regular power play. This was a 5-on-3 power play for the Buffalo Sabres. Are you kidding me? All because of the fact that AJ Greer got another roughing call on Benson, which was served by Asplund. So 5-on-3 for the Buffalo Sabres. And Florida almost killed it off. They almost killed this penalty off. Dahlin with the wrist shot, which was a fantastic save by Vanacek. That puck would not clear. And Petterka with a tug. Oh man, I'll say this though with Vanacek, he did everything he possibly can. He did. He absolutely did do everything in his power. But Petterka had that small gap on the right side, and that puck fit through. And that's a game-tying goal. He's assisted by Alex Tuch. That's his 30th assist of the season. And Rasmus Dahlin, that's his 49th assist of the season. And off the snapshot, it's Petterka with his 26th goal of the season off the snapshot. And now the game is tied 2-2. in the game. So they get yet another special teams goal. Both goals were for power play goals. And I think the Panthers were kind of shell-shocked by this. Darlene nearly gets a go-ahead goal, which was stopped by Vanacek. Rodriguez tried snap shot. That was stopped by Luukkonen. Marchand with the wrist shot. That was stopped by Luukkonen. And both teams were missing each other. And then more penalties have occurred. Connor Clifton with the slashing against Carter Verhaeghe. And it's Carter Verhaeghe against with a rough against Connor Clifton. Fights broke loose. Okay, fight has broke loose. So that would become a 4-on-4. I think before that, though, I think there was a situation before that. I'll talk about that a little later. So let's get through the third period, and I want to talk about the one thing that did happen in the third period. Second or third period, that Gadjovich just laying waste. That caused a brawl. Anyway, 4-on-4. 4-on-4 is killed off. And the third period ends. We go to overtime. Another overtime game for the Florida Panthers. So I forgot whether or not if it was a third period or the second period. But Gadjovich laid waste. Okay, he laid waste on one of the players with a big hit. I'm talking about a shoulder hit on a Buffalo player. Benson putting him in a headlock. Gadjovich was originally called a major penalty, which it was not a major penalty because one thing is Buffalo Sabre braced himself. He was going right towards it. He had nothing to do about it, so he was bracing for impact, right? That was a clean hit from Gadjovich. And they have rescinded the major penalty. They rescinded the whole penalty in total. So that was an insane sequence there. All right, overtime in this contest. Rodriguez wins the faceoff. Seth Jones tries a wrist shot, but that went wide. Kulik with the wrist shot that was absolutely robbed by Vanacek. Great save there. Lundell with the wrist shot that was stopped by Luukkonen. Man, that should have went in. Peterka gets blocked. Big block by Seth Jones. Zucker missed it wide to the right with a snapshot. Jesper Boquist with the snapshot that went right towards Luukkonen. Rasmus Dahlin with the snapshot that was stopped by Vanacek. Great save there. That's an icing. There goes an icing call. Ryan McLeod with the with the face-off win, and Dahlin with another slap shot, but that was stopped by Vanacek. Samsonkiewicz, who always gets the puck from giveaways from Dahlin, he could not get to the back of the net. He missed it to the left, and we go to shootout. We go to the shootout for the first time since the Utah game, and to start the shootout is Anton Lundell. He gets a wrist shot in, and he scores. 1-0 Florida in the shootout. Jack Quinn's turn. He wrist shot, and that one went by Vanacek on the right. Okay, good. Okay, so we got that puck lock there. Rodriguez with the wrist shot. That was stopped by Luukkonen. J.J. Peterka with the wrist shot, but that was stopped by Vanacek. Great save there. That went right to the shin pad. Mackie Samsonkiewicz tries to backhand. He tries to win it, but Luukkonen stopped it, and that bounces off him. Oh, man. Alec Tuck now with the wrist shot. And then the great save on the right side. And Florida wins this game 3-2 over the Buffalo Sabres. This is a very similar story with the Utah game. Very similar. And the Florida Panthers win this game 3-2 over the Buffalo Sabres. Now, when we look at the standings, that puts them at 98. Okay, 98 in the standings. Still some hope, but we hope for the Tampa loss, and we can have that tiebreaker because both Tampa and Toronto, they both have a game in hand. But in this game, when we look at the team stats, 34 shots on target for Florida, 28 for Buffalo, 34 hits, and a lot of those came from Palovari. 20 hits for Buffalo, 32 faceoff wins for Florida. This is without Barkov. 20 faceoff wins for Buffalo. Both teams with 3 power play opportunities, and 2 of them were converted by Buffalo. We don't talk about that. Penalties. Both teams with 7 penalties, and both teams with 17 penalty minutes. So it's all identical. 13 block shots for Buffalo, 11 block shots for Florida, 11 takeaways for Buffalo, 7 takeaways for Florida, 16 giveaways for Florida, 15 giveaways for Buffalo, and stars of the game. Anton Lundell with the 1 star. It was that shootout go-ahead goal to start the shootout and ultimately win it. 2 stars goes to Carter Verhaeghe with 1 goal, 1 assist. 3 stars, they gave it to J.J. Peterka with 1 goal, 1 assist. I would have given it to Jesse Palovari. I would have given it to him. Honestly, he played so good in this game. He deserved 3 stars. I'm just saying. All right, man. Next game is on Monday. Our only game on South Florida sports that day is against the Rangers. Final home game of the regular season against the New York Rangers. We found out that they are eliminated from playoff contention. And this is coming off a President's Trophy year. They have completely derailed themselves, which is unfortunate for them. And then the final game is on ESPN. It's a back-to-back in Tampa. That's a big game, because that could dictate whether we're in second in the Atlantic Division or we play the Lightning on the road. But we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. All right, man. That's going to do it for this one. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for content, because Miami 2G is back. And what he does, he'll be right there with you for your entertainment you deserve. This is Miami 2G signing, folks. Good night.